So are Postal Service trucks doomed? The answer is yes, but probably not in the way you think. Hi, my name is James Gurney, and I want to do this painting for you in casein, an old-fashioned kind of paint. And I want to show you the steps of doing the painting and tell you a little bit about this truck. What I like about this subject is the fact that it's just simple in color. It's just white with the blue and the red trim on the trucks. And it might be a challenge to get the full range of values, but I'm going to try really limiting it and see what happens. Just using cerulean blue and cadmium red light. And I'm going to use a yellow ochre also as an underpainting color and also as just an accent color to kind of get that glow effect of the sun. This post office truck is a familiar sight. Sturdy and reliable, four-square. These vehicles have been around for over 30 years. There are over 140,000 of them in service, and they're called the Grumman LLV. LLV means long life vehicle. They were meant to be 20 years old, but a lot of these are over 30 years. You can tell from the number on the serial number at the top what year they were made. The first number, 4 on this one, tells you that it was made in 1994. Some of these have over 200,000 miles on them, and an average mounted carrier or post office delivery person who carries the mail by truck will do 40 or 50 miles on a rural route like we have here in Rhinebeck, New York. These vehicles don't do real well in the winter. A lot of people complain that they needed air conditioning, so they have a fan inside. And they have their problems. They've been expensive to fix and maintain, but they've been good in stop and go traffic. They're supposed to get 17 miles per gallon, but they end up getting in reality about 10 miles per gallon. Let's look again at the colors I'm using. This is cadmium red pale, which is more orangey, golden ochre, cerulean blue, and titanium white. Now if we do a triad test with these, we'll find out exactly what we can get with the primaries and the secondaries. These represent the brightest possible colors I can get with this gamut. The yellow, orange, red, violet, and green, and then the darkest black is that. Here are the tints. The secondaries, the greens are not very green, and the orange is a very weak color, but it's strong on red and blue. I chose these colors because I could look at the present day through a veil of memory and make a kind of a golden light washing over the scene and look like it's fading away. Now while I'm painting away, a guy comes up carrying a bag over his shoulder.
Well, when I was a very young man, you know when they used to say you did what your father did?
Yeah.
My father was in the supermarket industry.
Oh, wow.
So I worked in the supermarket industry for a certain amount of years. Then I retired from Budweiser.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm doing this for a couple of years.
And what actually are you doing there?
I pick up the mail.
Oh, you pick it up and take it to the next distribution, Newburgh?
I bring it to Newburgh, exactly. Yeah. I'm the closeout guy, they call me.
Closeout, okay.
And it's nice.
So I get up in the morning, my wife is gone to work.
Yeah.
I ride my son brought me a stationary bike ever since the virus.
Yeah, our son
because I put this on, and I used to go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Just for cardio. I'm not looking muscles, and because I had open heart surgery years ago, and I just want to keep it pumping.
That's smart.
But Now I got a stationary bike, and I watch the news, and I ride the bicycle for a half hour every morning.
Oh, that's good.
Our son put one in the house, and I haven't used it yet.
I'll tell you something. It seems to be harder to get on in the house than it was when I drove to the gym.
Oh, that's funny.
interesting.
You know, I don't know why.
I've always got stuff I got to do.
Yeah, I'm always doing something. Then I always say, you know, I'm going to get on it in 10 minutes.
That's what
I'm going
I
to do it in
say.
another 10 minutes. And before I know it, I'm taking a shower to go to work.
That's exactly.
But now what I
my
do,
problem.
I'm trying religiously. I've learned one thing.
Yeah.
You got to set a schedule and live by it
Yeah.
when it comes to exercise.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
anything.
exactly, yeah.
You know, I get up, my wife
Yeah.
leaves at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I get up at 8:30 and I wash up, have a little water, and I do my bicycle.
Good for you.
I'm trying anyway, you know?
Yeah, we have a dog we take for a walk. And
Well, that's good. My doctor told me nothing's better than walking.
Yeah, huh.
He swears by walking.
Yeah. Good luck walking.
In the summertime, I used to go, because I live down in Rockland near that huge Palisades Mall. You ever heard of?
I know where that is.
Yeah. In the summertime, you know, because I had open heart surgery, the heat is my enemy.
Oh,
So I used to go to that mall in the morning
Oh,
and walk the mall because it was all air conditioned.
Yeah. That's great. But now, of course, with the COVID.
What part of California did you come from?
Bay Area, Palo Alto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We just got back, just before the pandemic started. We were in California in Huntington Beach.
Oh, yeah.
We got good friends that live there right by the water.
Oh, that's nice.
And we stood for about 10 days. It was wonderful. I love California.
Oh, it's beautiful. Along the
But
coast
you know what?
there and the
My
redwoods.
buddy's there about 35 years, 40 years now. We grew up as best friends. And, you know, we made a pact. One year I go there, one year he comes here.
Sure.
We rotate it.
Oh, that's great.
But I got to tell you, California's taking a dump from when I went
yeah.
years
Who
ago.
tells us that?
There's a ton of homeless people I hear.
Oh, it's incredible, the homeless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his sister was telling us. She's still there.
Oh,
She said, you can't
and I heard
believe
that San Francisco is even worse than the LA area.
Oh, wow.
My
Yeah.
niece works for Facebook, and their main office is in San Francisco. And she told me, Uncle Lou, it's terrible. You know, not guys that go there now.
Yeah.
You know, the guys that have been there and seen what it was
Right.
and how it's changed with politics and everything else, that they're looking to get out.
What do you think is going to be different after we get back to normal? Like, suppose they get a vaccine and everyone takes it and that's behind us. What's going to be changed?
I can tell you what's going to change for me.
What's that?
I'm not going to worry about tomorrow anymore.
Huh.
I'm 64 years
Yeah.
old, 65 actually I'll be. I'm not going to worry about tomorrow at all. I'm going to, I always used to save and save and save,
Yeah.
and I just feel like,
Enjoy it while you
yeah,
got
because
it.
I could have got the virus and have been dead.
Yeah, yeah.
You never know. I think it's going to change the whole attitude of the country.
I have to remind myself sometimes to document the commonplace things around because we don't appreciate them until they're gone. Like I painted this blockbuster video thinking maybe this won't be around forever. Sure enough, both that and the restaurant behind it are gone now. Well, I'm using smaller brushes and putting in some of the little touches now. Putting in some of the details like the rear view mirrors and some of the insignias, the little lights and reflectors and things like that. Also the rivets. I love the rivets on these things. The guy who drove the truck told me that they won't be around much longer. They're going for more the van type thing. These things don't really work that well. They're rear wheel drive and they tend to slip a lot on the ice. But probably the biggest change in the business around these trucks is the rise of e-commerce and package delivery, which has meant that the drivers have a lot more to do, a lot more packages to carry on their routes. And that's why other companies have proposed new designs, new prototypes for the Postal Service to consider for about a $6 billion project of replacing them one by one. But as long as these trucks are still with us, I want to capture them before they pass into oblivion. And that's why I chose this triad of colors. Out of all the possible colors, I just chose these three essential ones, a weak yellow, a bright red, and a blue, and leaving out the greens and the violets. just so that I could capture the essential colors and limit it as much as possible. But there is that one greenish window you may notice. That's coming from outside that gamut or that range of colors from the limited palette. And to do that, I brought in a permanent green. So if you really need an extra color, an extra gamut color, you can add that in. A lot of these ideas about triads come from a video that I'm about to release in September called Triads. It's the second in the Color and Practice series. And this will take us into making triadic tests, painting gray palettes from full color palettes. And I'll be doing 2 samples of this video on September 12th and 13th at noon Pacific time as part of Lightbox Expo, which is a convention, a virtual convention of plein air painters, concept artists, animators, and lots of imaginative artists. So don't miss it. You can watch the premieres. I'll answer questions and take you through samples of this new video.